My town smaller than your town. I got a bigger bucket of bass on my wall. I got a little more kick in my draw, y'all. I got a little more spit in my jaw. My truck's louder than your truck, and my red wine's a little more blue. You might think that you're redneck, but I'm rednecker than you. Yes, I am. Hey, CB, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? How you doing? How you doing? How we all doing today? Glad to see you here. We are getting ready. Who's ready to go? July 4th, when we actually got ourselves away from the British and we were like, we're America. July 4th, 1776. It's going to be a great day, and we are going to go out to West Palm, or it's not really West Palm. It's on the other side of the inlet. It's Riviera Beach, but we're going to be walking to the easternmost tip on July 4th weekend. So we're going to have a good time. We're going to go, and we're just basically going to park. All the good stuff's going to be in the description below, but we're going to be parking at a park, and we're going to walk out on the beach, and we're just going to walk down on the beach and express our rights on July 6th. It's not July 4th. I would do a July 4th thing. I may just do a little July 4th day thing before I have to go to work. But for the most part, we're going to be in Riviera Beach, and we're going to be walking to the easternmost tip of Florida, and it's called Pump House, or I call it Pump House. It's known as like a surfing kind of spot, and yeah, it should be great. Should be hundreds of people on the beach. If you didn't see the video from Miami, it was wall-to-wall people on the beach, and it was a great day. And we should have a great day here as well. It should be a lot of fun. Palm Beach always loves us when we come down there. They're always so welcoming. So we're going to head back down to Palm Beach County. It's Palm Beach County. It's not West Palm, but close. It's right across the inlet, and that should be a good time. But Jasper Lit, Missouri 2A says, I really appreciate all you do down there in Florida. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate all the stuff. I appreciate all of you. I probably still do this even if you weren't watching, but I appreciate the fact that I do this and people watch. And I hope it's, for the most part, educational. I hope that you learn something from this. I know law enforcement, when they're watching or if they're watching, they learn. A lot of these events I've noticed over the last few, there's either little to no police interaction. We welcome them. They can come and say, hey, what's up and how you doing? But for the most part, we just want to be left alone. We want to be treated just like everybody else. We're not there to hurt nobody. We're not trying to hurt nobody. We're just out there expressing our rights. And just like everybody else that does this, they're out there expressing a right. And for the most part, those people are not out there trying to hurt people. So that's what I take away from this. But on a good note, we are going down to Riviera. It's going to be a good time. Let's see what else is happening. We got July, August, September, October. Yeah, there's pretty much open carry gatherings for the entire month of for the next 4 months. So I'm going to try to get all those descriptions in there. I know that I am trying to plan a Tampa thing in between, I believe it's July 6th and July 21st. So sometime in between there, I should be coming over to Tampa area. I'm not going to tell you where. I'll probably put in a little post. I may say, hey, I'm going to be coming out here to this area. But for the most part, I'm kind of just going to be coming out there as a solo mission and expressing my rights. And that's the good thing about the groups. It's great. You get to meet other like-minded individuals, but to really express the right, you need to express the right. With the group's great, but expressing your rights by yourself, that way, usually with the group, there's a little less animosity, and most of the time, law enforcement, they may already know about us coming. But when you're doing these things on your own, by yourself, expressing your right, that is the true test. And hopefully the education is being passed along. I'm not sure through who or what, as long as it's getting through to law enforcement that this is a right and they are being trained, we should all start feeling safer doing this. And that's what I really, at the end of the day, I wanted to see people saying, something, if this guy can do it, I can do it, and get out there and do it. I mean, I challenge anybody to go out there and make a video, and show me out there open carrying, because, I do search and I try to find other open carry videos other than mine. And I mean, it's hard. I mean, it really is. I mean, there's a few out there, a few here and there, but there's not, I would love to see all y'all's videos. I would love to see if there's any other, if you guys deal with anything with law enforcement, I mean, I'm not saying carry a rifle. I mean, carry what you feel comfortable with. If you want to carry with a handgun, carry with a handgun. If you want to carry with a rifle, carry with a rifle. If you want to carry with both, carry with both. It doesn't really matter to me. CB, I'm gonna shoot me that link because I would love to see your video. I think I've gone through. If you did it recently, I haven't seen it, but I've seen a lot of the stuff, so I'm gonna have to check that out and check out what you've been doing. I mean, anybody. I mean, everybody. Let's get out there and express our rights, because the government needs to know that there are law-abiding citizens. There's people out there that want to express their right without having to pay for some kind of concealed weapons license or only having to go fishing, hunting, and camping. I think it's silly that we have to be fishing, hunting, and camping to openly carry a firearm. It's silly to me. I mean, I appreciate what they're offering, and that's why we use everything we can with it lawfully. We want to do it lawfully, and eventually, hopefully, Florida, turns around and actually creates another open carry law, or whether it's with a deal, whatever. Let's just start with the open carry. Let's get open carry started, and that's half of it, is getting a movement started with people open carrying regularly. The events are great. They happen maybe once, twice, 3 times a month throughout the state of Florida. It's not just me. I keep saying that. It's not just me. There's other people involved in this open carry movement. It's just you happen to see a lot more of my videos. But let's get this movement going. Let's really try to, let's get out there and express our rights and really show people that there are people that really want to express their rights, whether it's just with a handgun, whether it's just with a rifle. These are our God-given rights. I mean, the Constitution doesn't say shall not be infringed unless you have a concealed weapons license. That's just not how it is. FLE Roleplay Official, what's up? How are you? Yeah, it's not going to be in West Palm. I kind of tagged it so that you guys kind of check it out, but it's going to be just on the other side of the inlet. It's going to be at Riviera Beach, at the easternmost tip of Florida. I call it Pump House. I think it's got some kind of other inlet name, but it's, you go to Riviera Beach right there at that, man, I'm kicking myself in the head right now because I can't remember the park name. Tired. I'm going to let you know. Baby kept me up till like 6 this morning. Got a couple hours sleep, and now I'm doing this. But yeah, Riviera Beach. We're going to come out on Riviera, and we're going to take I think it's like a 3/4 mile walk on the beach right to the inlet. And we can do a little beach fishing. We can do a little inlet fishing. There's fishing all over that inlet. There's a lot of good fish to be caught. Snook season's closed, but there's a lot of beach snook on the beaches right now. And if there's any kind of bait, we should be able to catch some bait. Or I know I'm going to have some stuff to catch bait and maybe a net or two. But there's going to be fish at this inlet, and hopefully we catch one. Unfortunately, we didn't catch anything in Miami, but it's fishing. It is what it is. You got to deal. You go with the bumps and bruises of fishing. And if anybody knows how to catch fish and they're the best fishermen in the world, please come out and show us how it's done. Because a lot of times we're not catching anything. But hey, that's fishing for you. And same thing with hunting. I mean, not everybody goes out and goes hunting and it's like, oh, I got me a 10-point today, or I got me 6 boars, or some people go out and they spend all day. They get out there before the sun rises and they don't leave until the sun sets, and they walk between their tails between their legs. So, not everybody's perfect at it. Yeah, CV says it's fishing, not catching. And that's actually what I had to try to explain to them down in West Palm at a city hall meeting. You know, just because we're not sitting there holding our fishing poles, you know, we're sitting there waiting for something to bite. You know, it's a waiting game. You know, same thing when you're hunting. You're sitting in your blind, you're sitting somewhere, or maybe you're walking through a pasture. You know, you're looking for birds, you're looking for quail. You know, you have to take your dogs and you have to keep moving until they fly up. Sometimes they fly up, some days they don't fly up. But anyway, yeah, other than that, I do have I am working on a birthday get together. It's going to be on the 21st. That should be awesome. I'm going to Tampa sometime between now or between July. It'll be right after July 6th and between the 6th and the 21st. I'm definitely going to make my way to Tampa area. I've got a couple really good spots that I've been looking at. High traffic, like always. So, and then, like I said, I will it will be on the fly. It'll probably be a live video on my way to Tampa. So if you're paying attention, I'll try to drop a little message out there and say, hey, I'm going live on this day. Hey, you know, look forward to it. Should be a good interview or a good talk or whatever. And that way, you know, I'm coming to Tampa, and I'm going to try to give you guys some insight, but this is going to be like more of a solo mission. If you'd like to come and join me, I'm all for it. I always welcome people who want to come out and just take a little walk with me and go fishing and bounce around from spot to spot. Hey, I'm all for it, you know. But anyway, what have you guys been up with? James Francis, any legislations in the work to get Florida open carry? Not this session. Up until next session, where there's nothing really. They're really looking into these anti-gun bills. There were so many of them that they were trying to make sure that they could combat all their anti-gun bills. I hear most of them, not all of them, but some of them got kind of either dismissed or they kind of gave up on them. They were just never going to pass. And then the real ones they're going to be voting on, I think, if they haven't already voted on. I keep looking for it, but no, I haven't seen anything about certain bills that I'm really concerned about. But, you know, for me, myself, if, you know, I'm still out there trying to, I'm getting my petition signed, I'm getting closer. I mean, I'm saying closer, but, you know, a few hundred is a lot closer than the 1,100 I had to start with. So, and I still have 6-7 months to go until they all have to be in. So I'm actually doing really well, I feel. I'll keep pushing hard. As I get a few more funds here and there, I'll be able to do more events and have more traffic come into the events that I want to try to have. So, but that's my goal. I don't want to really just look at open carry. I want to look at constitutional carry. Constitutional carries, I think, a more overall. It gives people the option to conceal or open, and that's going to be without a license. We don't need the government. Once again, the Second Amendment wasn't based off of us paying the government. If you look at, I believe it's Amendment 1, Chapter 8 of the Florida Constitution, it says that right there. They say, you know, shall not be infringed except for the state can create its own laws pertaining firearms, basically. And that's what we're dealing with. You know, Florida did have an open carry pre-1987, but it was very sectional. Like, it was in certain counties, certain towns, you had to know all the firearms for all the counties and municipalities that you would travel to, because you go to the city, they didn't have an open carry ordinance. You go to the county, they have an open carry ordinance, and that's what you dealt with, is you had to understand it. And as they got rid of the open carry, they actually created the preemption where every city, the only person that could create any kind of gun ordinances and things like that, or laws, were the state. That's why if you see a sign in a city that says no firearms on a public park, that sign is actually in violation of state law, because the city cannot create their own laws pertaining firearms. The state has that option unless it's a federal courthouse, any kind of national security kind of area, schools, things of that nature that you cannot carry firearms. If it's a city park or a state park or things like that, they cannot create their own firearms laws. So, James Frederick Smith, I open carry here on a regular basis. Where are you from, Mr. Frederick? Because I try to open carry almost every day I can. Not every day. I'm going fishing right now. Just life is just taking me. I've got too much going on. Second Amendment stuff, politician, father, working 2 jobs. It's just never ending. North Carolina. Yeah, we've got a buddy up there too, and his name's Jonah, and he moved from Florida to North Carolina, and I think it was like his first day there. He was out there open carrying and kind of rubbing it in our faces, but that's all right. We're gonna catch up to North Carolina. So Rick Bear says, "What's up, bro? How you doing?" I'm chilling, man. It's friggin' probably about 100 degrees, and I'm in the shade. I'm hanging out on my porch, and it's just burning up. But that's what it is. What it is. It's Florida. Waiting on the wife. She's going at the doctor's right now. She's about to come back, and we're gonna go to the beach. Oh, if you haven't seen it, sorry about that. Rick Bear. I live in Boca Raton. Sorry, guys. That's my fault. But whatever. Anyway, I got a new chair. Thing's pretty sweet. I got it from my wife. She's amazing. My wife's amazing. If you can see that. Yeah, thing's pretty sweet. Turn it up. Yeah, it's saying rotate device, but I don't care. I don't know if you can still see that, but that thing's pretty sweet. Anyway, yeah, that's my new chair. Ugh. Yeah, and back to talking, but yeah. And Rick Bear, I am coming down to. We're actually going to be coming to a few different places. I was talking to my buddy, and I was like, "Hey, man, we need to go down to the Keys really bad." And I was like, I'm about to try to talk the wife in to going down there probably in like 4 months, 3-4 months when it cools off out there. Maybe do a little camping, and that should actually be a really good time. But anyway, we're going to go down to the Keys, and that's my goal, is to go open carry. There's a couple state parks I know of that would be amazing to go down there and just, it's the Keys. How could you who wouldn't want to go to the Keys to go friggin' open carry? Or even just go to the Keys, just to go out in the water and go fishing. In 4 months, we'll have a lobster season that's not so crazy. The beginning parts of the lobster season's nuts. And but after that, it calms down. There's a few less people, but the weather is beautiful. So, but other than that, like I said, we're gonna go down to Riviera Beach. I hope that some of y'all can make it. Rick Bear says, "Do you have a WhatsApp, bro? WhatsApp, bro?" No, I don't believe so. Mostly all. I've been trying to start getting. I think I just got. Oh, thank you, Travis T. I appreciate that, brother. I just got a Venmo account. I'm going to start putting that out. I've got PayPal. I've got a few different outlets. I never asked for money, but some people are like, "Hey, I want to throw you a few bucks," and I'm like, "Okay, like here's all the places you can throw me a few dollars." So if you ever want to throw me anything, I'm not asking for it. I appreciate it because it does go a long way. It does cost money, and I do this a lot out of just about, out of my own pocket. So, I bust my butt. I ride for Uber when I can, and I usually use a lot of the Uber money to kind of offset that cost. Especially when you got a 3-hour drive from here to Tampa, or 2-hour drive from here to Miami, or to wherever. It just costs money. Like I said, I'm asking for it. But if you want to, you're more than welcome. But I never ask. I'm, never asking for it. It's just, I appreciate it if you do. And Travis T, I appreciate you, brother. It's awesome. I appreciate it. But we are, man, gosh, I know that we have Port Canaveral. That's coming up real soon. That's going to be right after Riviera Beach. I know I've got a bike week one. Where else are we going? Jeez, we got too much stuff going on. I can't even keep things straight anymore. But anyway, Moms Demand Action. They've got a few of us, and I've been noticing, they're still out there doing the same thing and still preaching the same thing. They've put out the new petition where they're going to ban assault rifles, which is really them coming after any kind of rifle that has a detachable mag that holds 30 or more, or 10 or more, or whatever their little thing is. Unfortunately, whenever they start doing things like this, all it does is really rile not myself but others up. And when I get riled up, I usually show up. And unfortunately, that's just probably how it's going to be. I guess I just have to go back out and try to talk to them, and that's what it's really about, is going out and trying to talk to them and try to understand why they think the way they think. I don't agree with anything that they're going to say to me. I mean, I'll be open-minded. I'm always open-minded to new, because even as a politician, my eyes have been open to new. So I never say no to not learning something new. Maybe they have some insight, but to try to strip people's rights away, their right to bear arms, is just insane. I was hanging out in Jensen Beach, and I met I didn't put all the clips in. I was actually really respectful when I found out he was in the military. I was like, something, just because he disagrees with me, I'm not going to put him on blast. I put a little parts in it, but he was definitely in disagreement. He's like, nobody needs an AR-15 in the civilian world. That came directly out of his mouth. And when I was like, who are I'm not saying this disrespectful to him, but I was like, who are you to tell me or that person they don't have the right to that firearm? And I was like, the number one thing about the AR-15 platform is it's the closest thing that we really have, unless you've got some kind of stamp, the ATF stamp, you have automatic weapons and you have automatic weapons, you're really going to have to, you're going to have to compare to them. And the AR platform, not just the 15, the AR platform is probably going to be the closest thing that we really do have to a military style weapon, but it's not military. It's a semi-automatic rifle. There's no automatic about it. But it's the closest thing. And if the government, once again, controlling what we can have, if the government can have it, then the people should be able to have it. The fact that we have to go through a huge process and then pay, it's ridiculous what I've seen some of these guns go for. And if you've got that kind of money, so be it. I don't have that kind of money, so I've got I've got my parts sitting in a box, waiting for the rest of the pieces to come together, and and that's just money, and that's just I'm not building a cheap AR, I'm building a nice AR, but it takes money to build something nice, and to put $30,000, $60,000 into a rifle that's automatic, something I'm going to train myself to do it right here. If as fast as I can learn, you've got to train yourself to be able to pull a trigger. What's his name? Michalak. One of the fastest guys that shoots around in the world. Guy's amazing. He's got world records across the board for numerous firearms, and all right here. So it's possible to do it here. It's just whenever you can just pull and hold back, it's way easier, sure, but it's possible. You don't even need a bump stock to do that. Right here, people, just get it, train yourself, get your trigger control down, and how to shoot fast, but learn how to shoot fast and shoot on target. Anybody can just sit there, bang, 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 but you got to hit target. You got to hit your target to be efficient. So, but other than that, open carry. I hope y'all really want to help me get along with this movement that we're trying to get going. I encourage everybody, get out there, express your rights, even if it's just at your local little pond near your house, and you're just carrying your handgun, and everybody knows you have guns and nobody cares. just go out there and do it. Make a video, post it, share it to social media, and get it out there. I mean, I would love to see it. Instead of me searching and finding maybe one here every other month, I would love to see some of y'all's videos and see what you guys are doing and see where you're at. I mean, I'll gladly come to wherever if you're catching fish. If I see you're catching fish in a spot, I will gladly come to your spot just to catch a fish. Because it's been a while since I've actually caught a fish with a firearm. There was not too long ago I was out fishing and just fishing at night. Didn't carry anything. I was carrying my Glock like always. I just wasn't open carrying, and I ended up catching like a 36-inch snook. So not a bad day. Just it seems sometimes when you're out there open carrying, it can be bad juju, like bananas. So sometimes it's not always. It's a bad luck charm, I guess. So, all right. Rick Bear says, dude, I'm in Brazil now. Here's serious public safety problems. Open carry here would be a great idea. We were actually talking to a couple people from Brazil, and they did a live. I didn't catch who she was with, but she did a live stream to a bunch of her friends or on her blog or something in Brazil while we were open carrying, and we were sitting there just talking, having a good time, and she wasn't scared, and she said the same thing, that they need, I believe, your new president or something, the guy that's coming into office or you're trying to get into office. He's actually really good. He's very pro 2A. He's actually he kind of wants to adopt some of the things that America has already, or what America's about. He's kind of wanting to adopt those same ideas. So hopefully that really works out for Brazil, because I know that they're dealing with some oppression, some socialist stuff. And it's in any of those South American countries, 80-90% of them, the country itself is beautiful. It's just they're so poverty stricken, or their government is so corrupt that it's the people suffer, the rich stay rich and the poor suffer, and that's just unfortunate, in that kind of society. Here we have poor, but the poor can turn themselves around. I mean, we've seen there's numerous cases where somebody started with nothing and turn it into a multi-billion-dollar company. Look at Warren Buffett. Look at so many famous people have come here and turned their life around. Mr. Harass says, "What's up? The new daddy." Yes, I am. I can't believe it. And she's amazing in the day and horrible at night. Like the last few nights, I mean, she'll start up at like 3 o'clock. Just as I'm coming home from riding from Uber, she literally will start crying. And now I've been up since like 10 a.m. till about 3 o'clock when I get off. And then she stays up for like another 2 to 3 hours trying to get her to go to bed. And it's exhausting. But she's amazing. I love it. I mean, I couldn't ask for anything better other than I wish there was a way to just turn that switch to, mute button. But that's babies, until they can really tell me what's wrong. I've got to just, comfort her and try to figure it out. Change her, feed her, comfort. That's all you can do until, feed her, feel her head, make sure she's not running fevers, things like that. I mean, I guess that's all you can really do at this stage. And I'm trying to be the best father I can. That's all I can do. I just can't wait till she can walk around and say, "All right, Daddy, I want to go to the range. Let's go to the range, Daddy." That's what I want. I can't wait for that. Oh yeah. But other than that, just to let you know, coming over to Tampa between July 6th and July 20th. Sometime in between that time frame. I haven't really dialed down the day, but everybody keeps saying come over to Tampa, so their wish is my command. And I'll be coming over there. I've got Riviera Beach on July 6th. July weekend, we're going to do a little walk right down the beach in front of probably a few hundred people on the beach during July 4th weekend. I mean, no better way to show your patriotism than walking around expressing the rights that you were given. So that's what we're going to plan on doing. And then we've got Port Canaveral. We've got Biketoberfest in Daytona Beach. That one I'm really hoping I'm gonna be pushing that one next month in July. Wait, yeah, July. As soon as we hit July, you'll see a video on that. And I need y'all's help to really get that video out there. Because that video, the more we can get that out there, the bigger it is, the better it's going to be. Because I think it should be a pretty amazing event. As of right now, there's plenty of parking that I know of that we should be able to park, no problems. So, yeah, Biketoberfest. We're going to be walking straight down Main Street amongst probably about anywhere from 30 to 40,000 bikers. Hopefully we can get maybe 30 to 40,000 like-minded gun owners to walk with us right through the center part of Main Street. And I believe they blocked that street off too, so it's basically we can basically walk down the side of the road and just walk down. It should be awesome. Should be. Travis T says he's excited about Port Canaveral. Yeah, that's going to be an amazing time. There is a shuttle launch as well. I believe it's in the later half of the afternoon, so it's about an hour away from where I live, so I may just stick around for the entire day just to see the shuttle launch, because, I mean, it's not the shuttle, it's a rocket launch, I'm sorry. It's a rocket launch. I can't remember, I think it's the Atlas something or something like that, I can't remember. But anyway, I haven't seen one of those since I was in probably 6th grade, 7th grade. I probably saw one right before the whole shuttle program got shut down, but the last one I really remember that was really prevalent was I think in 5th or 6th grade, and it was the one that the teacher went up and the shuttle blew up. It was probably one of the most tragic days, because it was we all looked at our teachers like that could have been you. But Port Canaveral is going to be awesome. The Challenger, that's right. Challenger. Yeah. I mean, for me, that's going back almost 30 years. I should remember it, but I mean, I remember of it, but I don't remember the name of it. Yeah, right there. We're going to be at the Jetty Park. It's pretty, I won't say it's super long, but it's a fairly long pier. Awesome little pier. We're probably going to revisit this place. They do have a campground there as well. Once again, I've been trying to. I slipped up this year and didn't get a camping one in. We had a camping one that was up. All right, I don't know what happened, but anyway, they have a really nice little campground there, right there next to the jetty. I guess if you're camping there, you can fish the jetty at night. The place looks really cool. The only other place that I was thinking about is in West Palm. West Palm also has one. I think it's John Pierce or John Prince Park or something like that. Down in West Palm, they have a campground, but it's a freshwater. It's a freshwater kind of, I believe, park. So people would have to have a freshwater fishing license. At least Port Canaveral, all you have to do is get the free fishing license, and you can fish there. And I always try to keep as much things as free as possible, because I'm not sure about you, but I'm not making millions. So I'm balling on a budget, as I would say. And I try to do what I can, and if I can create a camping event by the end of the year, I will. And it's probably going to be either Port Canaveral or John Prince Park down in West Palm. One of the two. And they're both great places. West Palm seems to love us a lot more. I love West Palm. It's one of my favorite places. Palm Beach County, West Palm, Lake Worth. Yeah, they're all great. They're very just welcoming always. They have no issues. Usually they don't try to kind of harass us or anything. They understand the law, and so they usually they may watch us or something. For the most part, they leave us alone, and that's what we really want. It's we don't want any problems. I don't want to be even for me. I don't want the police interactions. I understand that sometimes it's inevitable. It's going to happen. But as long as it's a good interaction and we can both walk away from the situation where we're both, all right, you didn't violate my rights, and I'm just following the law. Have a good day, and that's a good day. Whenever you want me, when everything goes sideways, that's when I don't like it. My wife will be here in about 10 minutes, she says. So hopefully she's watching. Travis C says he'll hang out for the launch. Great view from the Jetty Park. So yeah, once again, this is going to be a, I believe the event's going to, or the gathering's going to start at 10 o'clock. It starts from 10 till about 2. It's going to be a hot day. I mean, it's going to be, I believe it's September. It's going to be hot. So I plan on definitely, this place definitely has barbecue pits and things of that nature. So I can definitely have a barbecue. So I'll have food, I'll have waters. I'm going to try to get some kind of, pop-up tent. If you happen to come in and you do have a pop-up tent for any kind of shade purposes, that would be amazing, because it will be hot, and until that shuttle goes off, we'll be kind of out there baking in the sun until then. But other than that, I mean, it's going to be a great time. I can't even, all these gatherings that have been going on have been getting a little bigger and a little bigger and a little bigger, and I think it partly is some of it to do with you telling people. I think it's partly to do with the organization, Florida Carry, getting their members to really get more active. Maybe a little partly because of me trying to get you active or other people active. I mean, I think it's a little mix of, the positivity that we're promoting and what people are seeing about these open carry gatherings. That's not just, police trying to arrest us. And so when people feel more, I guess, safer, that knowing that they get arrested or their rights violated, people are a little bit more, the group, come out with a group. If you want to just go out and do it by yourself, go out and do it by yourself. Because expressing your right, you shouldn't feel uncomfortable doing it. We don't feel uncomfortable speaking our minds and saying what we want to say as a First Amendment right. You shouldn't feel the same way about your Second Amendment right. You should get out there and express it. You don't have to carry a rifle. You can carry a compact gun. You can carry a little anything. I mean, go out there and express a right is your God-given right, and that's all I'm trying to say is get out there and express a right. Mr. Rasser says showing people that they don't have to be afraid is key. I think that's what a lot of people have gained from a lot of these videos that I've started doing, is that they've realized that you can go out and just be, I think sometimes I may be just overly nice. I'm always just, hey, how you doing? How you doing? Kind of try to grab their attention. I'm usually pretty nice, and I usually do say hi to most people. But, when I'm in these group settings, a lot of times it really is, it's not so much about the fishing. It is really about the interaction and telling people they have rights and things of that nature. So a lot of times that's what you're going to see. You're not going to see a lot of me casting. You're going to see more of the interactions. As I do things by myself, you're going to see more of me casting, because, I'm trying to make a 20-minute, 15, 20-minute. I try to make them 15 to 20 minutes, I swear. But, you put a video together from 3-4 hours of raw footage, and you chop it all up and you put all the good parts and you try to condense it to a point. Sometimes it turns into 30, sometimes it turns into an hour. It just depends on the interaction, depends on what I've seen and what I think you want to see. I think a lot of people want to see the police interactions. I personally don't want to see the police interactions. I don't. I want to go out there and express my rights, because when they show up, I don't know what the initial reaction is going to be. I don't know if they're coming out to draw guns. I don't know if they're coming out to just talk to me. I don't know what's going on. And that's the part that I don't like, is the unknowns. In Miami, specifically in Miami, at first we were like, oh, this could be good. Oh, it's only 4 of them, so maybe they're just coming out to talk. And I was thinking, hey, maybe this will be a good interaction. Maybe they're like, you're respecting the law. And before I could blink, I'm looking down the barrel of 3 guns. Port St. Lucie, same principle. The guy and the girl get out of their car. They didn't put their hands on their firearms. I didn't feel threatened. But as soon as I was like, he's like, are those real? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, well, put your fishing pole down. I'm like, for, like for what? Like, why? I'm not doing nothing. I'm going fishing. I told you I was going fishing. And, before I blinked, I'm in cuffs. And those are the interactions that you don't know. And I can't sit there and say, hey, when you do this, you're going to be safe. I can't guarantee that. I can't say the police aren't going to pull guns on you. If they don't know the law or if they don't understand the law, it's very possible. I can't guarantee it, but I think from a lot of these videos that we have been doing, it is getting out to where it is safer. You're still going to run into those police officers that think they're above the law, or they just want to push intimidation on you to either push you away from the area or threaten you or push you to a point where you're like, something, I'm never doing this again. And I think, I try not to push back, but I push back to a point where the second I feel like I'm about to be arrested or I'm going down, they're trying to arrest me, that's when usually I may start backing off and I may start complying a little bit more. But as of recently, no. Usually now it's, am I detained? Am I committing a crime? And then I usually give them the statute, and if they don't understand that, then. But I haven't had any police interactions in probably over 2 months, so 2-3 months. So, and I'm hoping I don't. I mean, as of yet, I've gone out a couple different times and nothing. I'm just trying to be one person. Mr. Jenkins says, we at Florida Carry make our best attempts to keep all people attending at events as safe as possible. And that's our end goal. We do try to keep everybody safe, and that's crucial. If we don't feel safe, like the incident that happened in Port Orange, I did find out that if you have a concealed weapons license, you can be within that 1,000 feet. You cannot be on property, but you can be within 1,000 feet. But my concern was that I didn't know if everybody coming had a concealed weapons license. So I was putting people in danger that day. And that's why I did what I did. I had to cancel the event. And from this point forward, we've actually, through all the region leads and our board members, we've had a very, very, very stiff talk about if we're going to be having any kind of walk or any kind of gathering in any kind of area near or around a school zone area. And we have to basically do a better job of our due diligence. Usually we do our due diligence of looking at all aspects, but this was one of those aspects where just a little piece was overlooked, and that little piece could have cost a lot of people their freedoms. And so I promise you, from this point forward, a lot of us have been, we're doing a lot more communicating amongst the group as leaders, and as the board members have discussed with all of us that we really need to start dialing it down, because we are being scrutinized. The law enforcement are looking at us, and I'm not saying they're waiting for us to mess up, but if we do mess up, they're not going to be forgiving. They're going to be like, you know better, you've been doing this, just like we know the law, you know the law, and you violated the law. So now that's where we're at. We're at a point where, I mean, we were at the beginning, we were following the law. We were doing everything by the law, but little aspects may have been like this little school zone thing. Little aspects like that could get a lot of people in trouble, and that's why we are tightening down the screws on our when we organize these gatherings, that we make sure that they are done right to a T. So these are crucial. All this, I'm still in a learning curve. I've only been doing the open carry stuff for about a year and a half now. And when I started this, I knew nothing. And a year and a half later, I've gained so much knowledge from not only lawyers, but from organizers, region leaders, the board members, from some of you. There's so much that I've learned over this last year and a half that I appreciate all of you. And that's why I say I thank you. I'm trying to do my part, but as a whole, as gun owners, as we get together, we will stick together and we will help each other keep each other out of trouble, expressing our rights. But so, does anybody have any questions? Mr. Jenkins, what's going on? Hey, man, that's another thing. When are we going down to the Keys? And when are we going to that other secret spot you were telling me about? What's weird here is the sheriff asked us to carry. No one blinks an eye when we do. And, that's the great thing about your state, man. One day I'm hoping that's what's going to happen here. I hope and pray that we can restore either open carry or constitutional carry. I would love the fact that if we were a constitutional carry state, it would allow other people from other states to come here and not have to worry about if their concealed weapons licenses or how they can carry. That's the end goal. I mean, that should be across the board for the United States. As long as you're a law-abiding citizen and you can own a gun, you should be able to carry your gun and however you want to carry your gun. And we've slowly gotten away from that. So, and that's, the 33,000 gun control laws they already have on the books. How is any of that's really stopping criminals? No. 33,000 laws, and they keep wanting to add more and more and more, and it's not gonna. Some of them have been effective, maybe, but once again, they're still infringing on people's rights, and it's unconstitutional. Travis T says, so with a concealed weapons license, you can open carry fish within that 1,000 feet. Yes, you can. You can possess a firearm within that 1,000 feet. I do not recommend it. I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying, it could draw more attention that you're actually asking for. I'm not saying not to do it. I'm just saying, just be careful doing it. Yeah, I would personally probably say if you're walking through that school zone and you're carrying a handgun and you're fishing, just go ahead and cover it up, get through that school zone, and then uncover it back up. You can, if it's out of sight, out of mind, nobody's going to call you because they see you walking with a fishing pole. But if they see you walking with a gun through that school zone, they're going to be like, oh, he's in a school zone, he's carrying a gun. They may just skip out on the whole fishing pole part. And next thing you know, they roll up, and you can do it. I'm not saying you can't do it. It is lawful. I'm just saying be careful doing it. All right. Mr. Jenkins says, I am working on a Deerfield Beach meetup. The Keys is possibly later in the year. And I would say, yeah, definitely later in the year, man. Let's make it a camping thing. We can keep it to the northern Keys, or we can go to the southern Keys. I think a lot more people would come to the northern half, like Marathon, Isla Mirada, and Bahia Honda State Park. That's a great state park. A lot of great fishing there. Easy accessibility to the roads. Get you if you're kind of in the middle part, I guess, and that would be a great spot. Any one of them, man. So hopefully we can get that Keys thing later in the year, maybe November, December, or maybe at the beginning of the year or something. That'd be awesome. But keep us up to date on that Deerfield Beach. That should be a really fun time. Angel's here. He says, hi, Pete. Open carry Duval Street. Yeah, Duval Street would be great. And, if we can get 50 to 100 people down there down Duval, it'd probably be worth it. But it is a long trek. I mean, you got to think if somebody was coming from Jacksonville, that's going to be a 7-hour, 8-hour trip, 9-hour trip for them, depending on traffic. And so, I know that the people of South Florida, it's not going to be so bad, a couple hours, 3, 4 hours, 5 hours. But some people that are coming from way from the north, driving that far is a little extreme. That's why the north half, at least it's a little bit driving just past Miami, So still I think from Jacksonville, it's only 5 hours, 5.5 hours or something to get to the beginning parts of the Keys. So, yeah, it's been great chatting with you guys. My lovely wife just pulled up. and I am gonna go hang out with her. I think I'm gonna go swimming in the ocean because I'm, like I said, it's like 100 degrees out on this porch. Mike Force has come to Southwest Florida, Cape Coral, Fort Myers area. You know something? And that's I'm probably gonna make it's probably gonna be like a day thing. I've got a buddy on the West Coast. He said I've got a place to stay, so I'm gonna try to come over there. And he's actually, I think, kind of near the Fort Myers area, so I will probably stay over there, and maybe we'll go ahead and do the open carry thing in that day, and then I'll go over to the Tampa area, fish there for the day, and then come back home, or vice versa. Come there, go to Tampa, and then come back. And then when I stay at his house the next morning, I get up, go fishing in Fort Myers, and then head back home. But either way, I'll come over there. Like I said, I have plans on coming over to the West Coast. It's just, once again, it's like 3.5 hours from where I'm at. I have to go around that big old lake. So it doesn't really matter which way. Mr. Jenkins says, Rick Bear, find him on Facebook. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to get off here. I thank all of y'all for watching. For all of you that are going to be watching this later, don't forget, hit that like, share, and that subscribe button. I thank all of you. Mr. Rasta, stand your ground until next time, for sure. I do thank all of you, Solo Yacker Rules from Angel. I appreciate that, brother. And I'll be sure to pick you up for the Cape Canaveral. We can get you there. There are restrooms, I believe, that are pretty close to that. But anyway, we're going to get all that good stuff together. I'll put those links as soon as this thing gets uploaded. I'll put those links in for you. But until then, I'm heading to the beach. I'm going to try not to open carry while I'm on the beach. The wife's probably not going to let me bring a fishing pole anyway. But I thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the flip side. Solo Yacker. Deuces.